one of the most underappreciated or underdiscussed points of Bitcoin, that it functions as this global bounty program for energy harvesting or seeking out underused or unused energy resources, as you've described. And when you also further consider that energy is the number one input to every industrial process, right? If we're driving down the cost of energy, we're equally saying we're driving up wealth creation. I mean, it's like a win-win from both sides, right? You get a way to store purchasing power in a way that can't be confiscated, but you're also increasing productivity, which is increasing the purchasing power of money. So Bitcoin, very powerful in both respects. And so what stands between us and that future is something like more regulatory acceptance or clarity or assimilation. Like, what do you think the blockages are between here and there?
It's simply getting the companies you're going to partner with to go, oh, I didn't think of that.
Just a matter of people coming to the realization that there is all this efficiency to be added to almost every industrial process by complementing it with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's what stands between us today and this vision of tomorrow.
I mean, it's no different than robotics, right? Yeah. Or automation. Or electric vehicles. Now, I was told a story a few years ago that there was apparently some meeting at some point in time where the heads of the automobile industry were sitting in a room saying, you know, for decades we've been competing on miles per gallon, 0 to 60 acceleration, the quality of the leather in our seats. And then we needed to start putting software in our cars because consumers wanted this technology. Little did we know that a software company would build a car.
Right.
And I think that's a little bit the perception. You know, people are set in their ways, right? Okay. And they have a certain way of thinking. And evolution is always easier than revolution.
Yes.
But every now and again, a revolution happens, right? The internet was a revolution.
Yeah.
Right. And things like that take time. They have to build momentum. What happens, though, is as soon as you cross a certain tipping point, the adoption just amplifies and runs. Yeah. And that's the same case with Bitcoin as an investment asset, and it's the exact same case with Bitcoin as a tool for doing other things. And Bitcoin is a tool for energy conservation. It's a tool for carbon mitigation. It is a tool for energy distribution. It has all sorts of ways you can use it. And people just have to realize that, wake up to the ability. And then as people build more and more technologies around Bitcoin that let it do things, same thing applies at L2, layer 2 of Bitcoin, and all the application people are building.
Yeah, it's an excellent point. I think Saylor said something to the effect once that there's only a certain speed at which a profound idea can propagate across the minds of men. And maybe that's exactly what we're describing here, is this thing just takes time for people to wake up to it.
People operate at different levels with certainty and uncertainty. And the idea of the propagation of an idea has to do that you flip from uncertainty to certainty. We all suffer from a confirmation bias. And so we all initially look for things that confirm our bias, and then eventually it flips. Attraction between humans suffers from confirmation bias. You meet somebody, something clicks, and you say, gosh, I like this person. And you're looking for signs to reinforce your belief. And then something happens that causes you, now I've got the willies. And now you're looking for things that confirm the opposite. So if you have a belief structure, a belief structure is like a table, right? Think of the table. It's based on your model of the world, and it's based on evidence that has taught you that it's a certain way. And if you can show people that there's a different belief structure, and you can provide not just enough evidence, but you can show that maybe their thinking was a little flawed as to why they thought something was bad when in reality it's good, or something was strange and it's not. You know, think about that. A lot of people will say, oh, I don't like avocado. Then one day they eat guacamole and say, wow, why didn't somebody tell me about guacamole, right? Avocado is awesome. It's psychology is interesting, right? And people are just afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
And it's getting people to feel comfortable with uncertainty because the world over the next 10, 20 years, there's a ton of uncertainty out there.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And, I know you have kids, I have kids, mine are more grown up, but I'm hoping to be a granddad soon. And I want the world to be a great place for them, right? I think Bitcoin plays a major role in that. But I also want to be able to create more certainty for them.
Yeah.
So what can I do to create certainty in the environment, in the financial system, and financial viability? My generation, I'm the last of the boomers. And my generation had a golden opportunity to build capital and wealth. Right? We had near zero interest rates. We had globalization. We had all these tailwinds. Current generation today that's going to the job force, totally different story, right? Can they afford a home? Not easily, right? You look at those things, and there's no, you can't help but wonder, okay, why are millennials not investing in homes, but instead spending money on trips? Well, there's things like inflation. There's things like they may not be able to do it in the future. And they don't view home ownership as a vehicle or an asset. But if you go talk to people under the age of 40 about what would they do with their money if they were saving it, more and more people are saying they want to put their money in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Over the age of 50, different story. They're still learning. But for that younger generation, they find certainty in Bitcoin. They find certainty in picking certain stocks that they can believe in. They're not buying the indexes. So there's a paradigm shift happening. And I think we're going to see a paradigm shift in how the world views the tools that Bitcoin provides as that under 40 generation takes over control of the world.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to find more just like it, and here to find our most recent episode. Also, make sure to like this video to help shine light on the corruption of money, and be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected.